Games need to be games again. Yes, gameplay is arguably the most important in a literal video game, but for the last decade or so now, maybe even longer, I guess, games have been evolving for better or worse to be more like movies, whether you like it or not, where you occasionally press a button to do something and then watch a cutscene for the rest of it. Walking simulators, which I've been basically covering with the most recent Amnesia games here, are basically this genre of it's really a movie, but it's also a game. Anything Hideo Kojima makes, but I'll rant about that in another video. It also doesn't help that we've a billion mediocre video game adapted movies, and we've even reached a point where a game like The Last of Us is so much less of a game and more of a movie, you can outright ignore playing the first game in The Last of Us series, just watch the HBO TV series, and then go on to play The Last of Us 2 because you've just watched the entire game basically in TV form. It's that bad. I can't tell you how often I went, oh, I just played this, I just watched this, while watching the first 2 episodes of The Last of Us. The first 2 episodes of The Last of Us are the first 4 hours of gameplay. And then the 3rd episode of The Last of Us, covering the fucking gay dude, is his 2-second line within the video game in Chapter 4, fleshed out to an entire hour of an episode. Who asked for this? Nobody did. You want to know why video game movies fucking suck half the time? It's not because the stories are bad, it's not because they're adapted bad, or that even the scripts are poorly written. Prince of Persia, one of my favorite video games of all time, the Sands of Time movie sucks. Do you want to know why it kind of sucks? It's not that it didn't adapt the story well, it's that it cut out all of the gameplay. Gameplay is what makes video games key, and every single time you adapt a video game for a TV series or a movie, it will inevitably fail, except for Sonic. And that is purely because you cut out the gameplay. But now we're at that point where the Uncharted film can take a bunch of different things from every single Uncharted game and try to stitch it together into a mediocre movie where it was miscast. You have Mark Wahlberg, who should have been Nathan Drake, or even just get fucking Nolan North, who is still old enough to actually just play an older Nathan Drake because he's the model and the actor for the game character, into his own fucking movie. Why would I go watch this movie or watch this TV series when I can simply turn on my PlayStation 3, 4, 5, or PC and play the shit out of it and enjoy a much better experience than actually watching a fucking TV show or a movie? Hollywood and the video game industry itself needs to cut this shit out. You know what I've been playing for the past couple of months? Old video games from the 2010s, not the new shit today, because all of it is fucking movies. Trust me, guys, I love Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 as much as the next person. But why the fuck would I go watch and maybe even enjoy this movie a little bit, or even the set pieces, because I can just play the game? You want to know what people liked the most in the Uncharted movie? They liked all the set pieces that they played in the fucking game. That was the best part. You want to know what they like about the Prince of Persia film? The story. Why is the story good? Because the story in the video game is good. What makes this movie indistinguishably lacking to where you feel like there's something missing? It's the gameplay. It's actually pushing that button and rewinding time. It's actually interacting with Farah, your love interest, and getting that experience yourself. Video games are in a completely different form than any other medium because they are interactive. The moment you turn this thing, this cyclopean, stitched together Frankenstein monster that was handled by 10 different writers and 2 different directors, into a film or television show, you immediately fail because that interactivity from video games is gone. That is why video games are special. That is why video games need to be fucking games again and not movies. Stop it with the Hollywood adaptions. I love Sonic. I think Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and even Knuckles, as cheeseball bad as that show was, are still fun movies and a pretty much fun television show because what it does is it does something original. It's not directly adapting any of the stories or very loose narrative from any of the Sonic video games. It's taking the elements that fans know, the characters that fans know, and writing something original and creating something and directing something original and fun for everyone. You have enough old people who work on these movies and are fans of the Sonic films to actually turn them into solid adaptations. You have enough young fans and new fans and old fans who will immediately go, oh wow, that's Amy, oh wow, that's Sonic, that's a catchphrase, that's a thing that I know, that's a sound effect. You have those elements that people love and enjoy turned into an original story. You want to know why the Sonic movies are so good? It's because they're original. That's exactly it. You aren't adapting a story. You aren't turning something that's already a fucking movie into a television series. And hell, just look at Assassin's Creed. The best part of the Assassin's Creed film isn't the writing, isn't the action, isn't the dialogue, it's none of that shit. You know what it is? It's when they go back in time and you're actually seeing the assassin perspective of Michael Fassbender's character. It's none of the modern day bullshit, because the modern day bullshit in Assassin's Creed is the worst part. It was clearly tacked on to create a franchise when you could have done the video games perfectly fine with Artifact of the Week, and considering how the rest of the games have basically wiped out the modern day sections, it proves that I was fucking right. You want to fix the Assassin's Creed movie? Remake it and just tell an assassin story from an original character's perspective that has no modern day bullshit whatever, and you simply tie it together by having the Apple of Eden or the other stupid alien ancient technology from the frickin' History Channel tied into there, so you have an Artifact of the Week film franchise. That's what the games did, except for the crappy modern day stuff. That's what the movie almost did, but it failed miserably because of the modern day stuff. Trust me, when you cut out all the modern day stuff from the Assassin's Creed film, you have about 15 to 20 minutes of actual Assassin's Creed stuff within that movie, and it's the best fucking part. Everybody wants a freaking movie adaptation of Max Payne. Guess what? We got that already. You want to know why it sucked? Not because Mark Wahlberg, not because the script was bad, but because the gameplay was cut. I can go about this forever and ever and ever and ever. There is no way in hell you can make a Halo TV series good by having some ridiculous narrative, because the gameplay is gone. Like, I don't know why that's so difficult for everyone to understand when it comes to adapting movies and video games and just simple franchises for that Hollywood machine. It's never gonna work. Doom? You can never make Doom into a successful movie or television franchise, because the key part of Doom isn't the story, because it's just about a dude who got so pissed off he can't fucking die and he kills demons, because it's the gameplay that makes Doom so fucking good. You cannot emulate that into a 2.5 hour or an hour and a half long film or a 10 episode shitty HBO series. It can never be done, and it will never be done. Video games need to go back to being fucking video games. I love Uncharted and cinematic stuff altogether. Legacy of Kain is my favorite goddamn game series on the planet, and most of that is a narrative that's Shakespearean vampire melodrama bullshit. But you can never turn it into a successful movie or cartoon, because most of the gameplay is just Zelda stuff. Could you possibly turn it into a Shakespearean melodrama? Absolutely. But if you don't bring Dennis Dyack or Amy Hennig back to the fold to write it, you're better off dead, and you gotta leave it alone. Just look at Devil May Cry. Okay, I could rant about this forever. I've been Calypso. If you like this video, like this video. If you dislike this video, dislike this video. I will see you in the next one. I'm just fucking pissed. I don't know where this came from. Let me know your thoughts down below. How do you feel about video game movies and adaptations? Yes, the first Mortal Kombat and the reboot Mortal Kombat are good, with some minor flaws, but that's about it. Everything else can rot in the sun. See you guys in the next one.
And Kain, terribly real, but corrupted.
Your imprisonment here has deranged you, Spirit. You fixate on Kain because you believe he is the tether that binds you here. We both know he is not the author of your agony. The pillars were subverted by dark forces, invited by the Guardians themselves. The more I learn of your circle, the more I see a tangle of nested manipulations.
Kain handed them their victory. They sought to topple the pillars, and he was their willing instrument.
Or was he their unwilling pawn? Would it blunt your wrath?